and delegates from India and abroad across various continents, friends from media, my faculty colleagues, staff members, students in the audience, and all those who are joining us in the live streaming of this particular session in the auditorium within the campus and also the other campuses of Jaipuria and few other institutes. It is my proud privilege to welcome you this morning to this inaugural session of the second international conference, Management Practices in the New Economy, ICMA Prem 2017, after a very successful first international conference that we did in the same month last year, titled as Across Moss. Ladies and gentlemen, though organizing a conference, and especially an international conference, is no mean task, but we at Jaipuria Noida see greater virtues in them, and that's the reason we announced this conference during the valedictory function of last year's conference itself, and we had a clear theme in mind. With so much of changes taking place around, every day there is a new challenge which requires new thinking, new ideas, new practices evolve and are adopted. Hence the conference theme, Management Practices for the New Economy. This remains contemporary forever. And I am therefore proud and happy to inform you all that Jaipuria Institute of Management, Noida, has adopted this theme as a brand, and we will be continuing to repeat this conference every year. Of course, there will be new issues, new aspects of research and discovery. Let me set the background right for this conference. As we had deliberated upon the conference theme while preparing the last year's conference itself, we had two of our faculty colleagues, Professor Vinita Shrivastava and Mr. Jitendra Sharma, who volunteered to take up this particular assignment and move ahead with organizing this conference. Later, Dr. Shikha Bhatia also joined the team, carrying her experience of organizing successfully Across Moss in 2016. Thereafter, the journey has been challenging, and it has been challenging till the end. We all are aware the declaration of elections of UP state, and that too on 11th, that is tomorrow, brought us further challenges. And at one point in time, we even discussed whether to organize this conference or reschedule it. However, the team was determined to stick with the schedule and organize it. मित्रों, जब चुनौती सामने होती है और चुनौती से हम रूबरू होते हैं, तो अकस्मात शिवमंगल सिंह सुमन की ये कुछ पंक्तियां सामने जहन में आती हैं, जो मुझे लगता है कि हम सभी के लिए ये काफ़ी तर्क संगत है, लेकिन विशेषकर आप युवाओं के लिए, और मैं उन्हें ये 4-5 पंक्तियां आप तक रखना चाहूंगा। सागर की अपनी क्षमता है, पर माझी भी कब थकता है। जब तक सांसों में स्पंदन है, उसका हाथ नहीं रुकता है। इसके ही बल पर कर डाले सातों सागर पार, तूफानों की ओर घुमा दो नाविक निज पतवार। And the result of this determination and hard work is before you all today. And I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations to my colleagues Dr. Vinita, Dr. Shikha, Mr. Jitendra, who have been the key drivers of this conference, supported by the entire administration team, other faculty colleagues, and the members of the Students' Committee. To my mind, the planning has been meticulous so far, and I have to give the real credit actually to you all participants who have adhered to the given time and believed in us. Without your timely contribution, this conference would not have been possible. My dear friends, overall, this conference received over 200 inquiries, 146 abstracts, and 108 full papers. And after reviewers' comments and suggestions, we were finally able to accept about 65 papers for final presentation in the conference and for including them in the published volume. However, due to last-minute certain pressing engagements, few authors withdrew, and as the chairman sir noted, we have been able to include 59 papers in the volume, and today we have over 55 participants who would be presenting their papers between the sub-themes and themes of the conference. I may like to add here that the papers, besides the length and breadth of this country, have been received from all across continents, which includes countries like the USA, Canada, Mexico, Belarus, Russia and other CIS countries, Taiwan, China, Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia and Singapore, African countries, and we have delegates from Sri Lanka, Egypt, Bangladesh, and other SAARC countries. Now, coming to the theme of this conference, that is management practices for the new economy, we all are witnessing how fast and how frequently environment is changing. Even the chairman talked about it in his address. Business being global village today is affected by even the slightest change or issue in any part of the world. Sustainability of businesses therefore depend upon quick adaptation to the changed circumstances and adopting to new management practices that are in tune and line with evolving new economy. I shall cite few simple examples. Two important events which have recently happened. First, demonetization in India in such a short span of time changed the entire processes of how business transactions are done, including the small transactions by the petty traders and the households. The single step of demonetization has triggered India into the digital economy map at an unparalleled level, and a large segment of Indian population who might never have heard earlier about a mobile wallet or how to pay by credit or debit card. Today, even a vegetable vendor is able to accept payment through mobile wallet. As one can foresee, this challenge will bring in radical implications for the economy, business, and society, and that is the power of adapting to changing new economy. Let me talk of another example. On 20th January, during his oath ceremony, Mr. Donald Trump has shaken the entire world, and his protectionism policy can potentially unsettle the established business practices with far-reaching consequences to be felt in the entire world. Indian industry is also on the fence, and industries like IT are really keeping their fingers crossed to devise news, expecting the changes and to devise new strategies how to overcome them. Businesses globally will have to find ways and adopt a new management practices in this changing new scenario. The new economy may seem demise of one successful companies and can also witness emerging of new businesses from nowhere or from scratch. It depends how fast a business adopts to the changing circumstances and adapts its management practices. Throughout this conference, we shall deliberate upon the impact of new economy in different domains of management and shall see how some new innovative management practices have been able to put the business on the path of sustainable and consistent growth in spite of changing economic scenario. I am thankful to the consent and support provided by many universities and institutions in collaborating with us for success of this conference. SAMK Finland, Eastern Mennonite University USA, School of Business and Law, University of East London, UK, and ARA Institute of New Zealand have been our associate partner institutions for the conference in promoting and getting research papers from respective areas. I'm equally thankful to the editors and boards of various international reputed journals for agreeing to collaborate and for publishing selective papers in their issues. Post this conference, and let me emphasize this point, that post this conference, Dr. Vinita Srivastava will be coordinating with these journals to send selected papers that meet the editorial norms for those journals. And authors may need to revise their papers as per each journal's specific requirements, but I am sure this little pain will be worth, and many of the papers from this conference will be able to get published in highly reputed journals. Bloomsbury Publishing, a leading publisher of UK, is our publishing partner, and they have published a high quality volume of the papers being presented. The published title shall be released shortly by the dignitaries. I express my sincere thanks to the entire team of Bloomsbury and especially Ms. Jyoti Mehrotra, the development editor, to bring this volume just in time. I am extremely thankful to all the participants once again for coming from such distances, places spread over continents, and that too when certain conditions due to elections were hovering around. I am sure our relationship will grow further and we shall be able to welcome you again and again in the years and conferences to come at Jaipuria and Noida. I am equally thankful and obliged for a large number of guests who have been here from various corners of Delhi NCR and sparing their time with their pressing schedule and gracing this occasion. I am extremely thankful to Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Rajan Saxena, Guest of Honor. Both of them, let me share that just the first call I made to them and spoke to them, they kindly and readily consented to be here in this conference, and we are deeply honored and obliged. Mr. Abhik, we were together at DAC. Probably we were talking after I talked to him about 30 years later, and and probably he would not remember me also. But then, once I spoke to him, he was also very kind and gracious to give his consent and be here. Yesterday he was traveling to Pune, and still this morning all the way from Gurgaon he's here. I'm thankful, Avi, for being here. It's indeed an honor for our students and for the institute. As Dr. Vinita was saying, their presence and addresses will give us new directions and food for thought for the deliberations to the participants. We are equally in debt to the management of the institute, especially our chairman, Sri Sharad Jaipuria ji, and vice chairman, Sri Shrivas Jaipuria ji, for their continuous support and giving us all kind of freedom to organize such conferences every year, and also for accepting our invitation to grace the occasion today, with which, without their unconditional support, organizing this conference would not have been possible. Thank you, sirs. With this, I once again thank you all for sparing your valuable time and for traveling long distances to participate in the conference. Finally, I have to make two important announcements. This is pertaining to the delegates particularly. Due to the public holiday declared tomorrow due to elections, we shall be holding our second day sessions in forenoon only and on a very limited scale. We have therefore extended today's program schedule so as to accommodate as much of as papers today itself. I hope you will cooperate for this unforeseen circumstance. We shall come back again next year in 2018 with the same conference theme, Management Practices for the New Economy, ICMA Brain 2018, on a much higher scale, and we'll love to have your participation in larger way, in more number of research papers, and if you can spread the word to your fraternity in your own region, in your countries, it will be really the key to the success of that particular conference. With these words, I extend my heartiest thanks once again to one and all. Thank you so much.